This crazy looking cactus is commonly called the paper spine cactus. It's in the Tephro family, and you might be thinking if you touch this thing, it's going to send you to the emergency room. But these little spines, they're actually quite thin and soft. Now, I wouldn't recommend touching the very ends or the tip because they are quite pokey and spiky. Plus, you also have to look out for the glochids. I believe that's what they're called. Those are the tiny little spines that will impale your fingers. They have little barbs apparently, and they are nearly impossible to get out. So it is kind of a safe cactus, I guess, despite its crazy looking appearance. I'm making this video today because I'm going to attempt to repot this. I bought it a number of months ago. It's just in the original soil. Now, it was fairly compact and it wasn't really absorbing the water as much as I'd like it to, and you can tell by the little wrinkles on the cactus itself. So this is telling me it's probably not absorbing as much water as it probably should. I'm going to remove it from this pot. I'm going to try and remove as much of the soil as I can. This morning, for about 10-15 minutes, I did submerge it in a cup of water. I let the plant absorb as much water as it needed. Hopefully that can soften up the soil as well. I'll be placing it in VeryPlants succulent mixture. It's a very gritty mixture, and then I'll be giving it a little bit of a larger pot. So that's going to be the process for today. Now, I did look for my cactus tongs, and of course I cannot find them. Things just seem to disappear in my little plant workshop areas. Now, I was just about to MacGyver something to handle the cactus. Sometimes you can use like a cup or something like that to squeeze the cactus, but look what showed up. I found my little set of cacti tongs. They're just little cheap dollar store ones, so I'm simply going to, I have to be careful because I don't want to knock off these little ball things. So I'm just going to squeeze the pot and hopefully it'll just slide out like that. Perfect. You can see how thin and fibrous these roots are. So these plants, cacti, cactus, succulents, they're very susceptible to overwatering. I don't like that term because I completely saturated the soil, like it sat in water for almost 20 minutes. Now, this is not overwatering, this is thoroughly watering it, but where you run into root rot situations is if this soil stays wet for too long and it doesn't dry out. Although there's lots of perlite in here, I'm assuming at some point it was a very well draining soil, but I'm going to be switching it out to the VeryPlants succulent mixture. And as you can see on the bag, it has a lot of gritty ingredients. I'm just going to move the camera up here. So this is what the bag looks like. I'll leave a link down in the description. You can go check it out, but this is what I'll be using. I am going to be upsizing the pot as well as using terracotta. So first things first, I'm going to just lightly break away. Now, soaking the soil prior, like especially if it's rock hard, is a good method, just so it'll help. Oh, poked my hand. It's a good method to loosening up the soil as much as you can before repotting it. So I'm going to leave some of the soil on here just because it is quite saturated, and that'll help keep those roots hydrated. Like that. That's probably all I'm going to remove. Again, I don't want to, because look, like some of these roots have already fallen off, so that's probably as good as I'm going to get it. Just get some of the soil off. And now let's size it up in the new pot, something like that. And then I can add the new gritty mixture around the base. Here's what the succulent mix looks like. It's just a combination of a bunch of ingredients, weird, but there are a variety of sizes. This pot has a decent sized drain hole, but I just put this little stone just over top. You can see it still can drain, or it's not completely occluding the hole, but I just don't want all these small stones just to fall right out. So I'm going to add a little bit of a base layer at the bottom. Make sure you're wearing a mask. I'm not, because there's a bunch of dust. You don't want to breathe that in. And then I'm just going to size it up like that. I think I'm going to keep it at the same height as it was before. and making sure it is straight and upright. And then I'm just going to add the soil just around the edges. I'm going to use my pencil just to hold like the top of one little ball. Actually, I'm going to slide it over a bit like that. And I'm going to use this just to help stabilize it while I pour the soil around the edges. Just so it doesn't start moving around once you add the mixture into the pot. Now what I like to do is use the pencil just to help push the mixture down around the side, and then just kind of go around the edges just to make sure that everything is settling nicely and there's no gaps around the roots. Now there's plenty of opinions out there about watering plants after they've been repotted. What I generally do and recommend is if the plant needed to be watered before you repotted it, then give it water. Most times you want to make sure that the plant is well hydrated, well watered before you repot it, just so there's not as much stress to the plant. This one, you can see the wrinkles here just because it wasn't properly absorbing all of the moisture whenever I watered it, so that's why I wanted to repot it. I might give this just a little sprinkle just to help settle the soil. I just took it out of the cup of water about half an hour ago, so again, I'm not going to be over watering it just because it hasn't had days of just sitting in soggy soil. So I'm okay to water it again. It's not going to hurt it. So that's probably what I'll do right now. And now I'm just going to give it a little bit of water. I have a garden hose in my basement. Just helps me with repotting and watering, so I don't have to take it upstairs or take it outside. Just going to give it a light soaking like that. And that way it comes right out the bottom like that. Now that it's well watered, I'll be placing this back in its little tray. I do have it under a grow light, but the majority of my cactus or cacti are grown in my south-facing window. I just have it kind of along the edge. And I also like to fertilize in the growing season, probably about once a month. And I'm just using this liquid plant food. It's formulated for cactus, and you can see the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium numbers are 277. Now it can get a little confusing with these numbers, but I saw a post, I think it was from Houseplant Journal. He said an easy way to remember the values is up, down, all around. So your up is your nitrogen, so that promotes growth. Your down, your second number, is primarily for root growth and development, and all around, I think he says that is for the development or the healthiness of the plant cells. But the second number, the phosphorus number, also promotes flower growth with cacti. So that's why you're going to see the phosphorus and potassium numbers a little bit higher than the nitrogen. But anyways, I simply mix up this in a container of water. I'll add 7 drops, and then I'll just water with a watering can until it comes out the bottom of the drain hole. The last thing I'm going to say about the care of a cactus is they like to be thoroughly watered. So I will completely saturate whatever soil they're in, whether it's this gritty mixture or it's just a regular like cactus succulent soil with perlite. I will soak it until it comes out the bottom of the drain hole. Now what I do with my plants upstairs is I keep them in the saucer. I will fill up I'll water the plant until the saucer fills up. I'll let it sit for probably about 10 minutes. Just so the plant has the ability to soak up the water that it needs. And then I'll go back and check the plants that still have water in the saucer, and then I'll empty them out. So that's an easy way to water your cactus or succulent. I'm always keeping my eye out for cool and interesting looking cactus, mainly from local plant shops. I really don't buy much online anymore. I did buy some seeds recently. Some of those, they're not doing so well. But anyways, I absolutely love this one. I think I picked it up for like 20 bucks. So yeah, I'm always just kind of looking around for some cool looking cacti. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching all my videos. I appreciate the support. Take care, everyone. Bye.